So for today, I thought I would compare the GoPro to the DJI for the common person like me and probably like you. So stick around. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I thought I would give you a little bit of comparison between the GoPro and the DJI for just the common man. I am doing this as a hobby. I'm not a content creator. I'm not an influencer. I don't make no living off of YouTube. But I think there's a lot more like me out there than there is of people that are out there creating video after video after video. And what do we want to do for our cameras? Well, I've always used the GoPro. I'm still using and actually pretty happy with the GoPro Hero 8 Black. But when I started motovlogging, I looked for something a little bit different to really help me out with the audio. And the DJI is a game changer for that. But what about for everything else? What about just for cycling? So what we're going to compare today is the GoPro Hero 8 Black to the DJI Action 4. I had ordered an Action 5 and I actually ended up canceling that order and reordering with the Action 4. I felt like that would be appropriate for what I'm doing. We also got the Mic 2 with it. But for today, I got a new roof going on up there. For today, I thought I'm just going to go back to using my regular Mic 1 the way that we always do and let you guys see a little bit of the difference. So as you can see, I've got two cameras mounted on me. Top one is the GoPro, bottom one is the DJI. So we're going to go ahead and we'll cut in the DJI footage right here and take a look and see how that looks. Now this is set on the wide, not the ultra wide, and so you'll kind of try and remember how much of the field it's showing. Of course, it's down a little bit lower. It's really too low of a perspective, but it's the best way to get a good comparison. And now we'll flip over to the GoPro Hero 8 Black, and this is in the super wide view, so it doesn't get no wider than this on the GoPro, at least the 8 it doesn't. I think the newer ones get a little bit wider. But you look at the colors, and these are all shot on very close to stock settings. I don't go in here and do a bunch of tinkering with a camera because I want to come out here and I just want to shoot my videos, upload them to YouTube, share them with you guys. It's a hobby. Sometimes I like to do a little bit of editing, but I don't want to be having to do a lot of editing. So what's your thoughts on that between the two cameras? Well, how about the audio? So right now we're using the DJI Mic 1, but I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to go with the GoPro audio right now. So we're going to this is raw GoPro audio. There is no dead cats attached to the camera. I rarely shoot this type of a footage unless I am out mountain biking. Sometimes I'll shoot it that way. But for the most part, I go into the internal recordings on the mics. And how does that sound? And let's compare that to the DJI mic. Now, what I'm going to do here to keep this a completely fair comparison, I'm going to put the DJI mic up top here. And we're listening to the DJI mic going straight into the camera. Again, no dead cat, just the stock settings. And how does the audio sound between the two different cameras? I don't know, you tell me. Now, from a user perspective, I've used the DJI here, and because we've got this, we're gonna go ahead and put them cameras back the way they originally were, because their angle is going to be a little bit better that way. But because we have used the DJI for a while now, and I'm pretty extensive using the GoPro. Go some kids biking. Because we've used these camera, you know, the DJI for a bit and the GoPro quite a lot, well, let me give you some user experience. And the one thing that is a major plus for the DJI is you're not putting pieces of video together in there. You know, if I shoot on the GoPro at 2.7K at 60 frames per second, I think we'll go through the neighborhood here. What's going to happen is it's going to give me like 5-minute and some second clips. And then the second clip, and then the third clip. You got to splice all them things together. Not difficult, but it is something that you have to do. And you got to be aware if you're editing out stuff that you don't edit out the wrong one, because you've got maybe 4 clips to one video. The DJI doesn't do that. So there's a big plus with that. What else do we got? Well, mounting. I do like the DJI has a magnetic base to mount. The newer GoPros also have a magnetic base to mount. And so that's, you know, kind of a draw there. It's a draw on the front screen because the newer ones have, the newer GoPros have front screen. My Hero 8s don't have that, but my newer ones do. So that's kind of a bit of a draw there. But I got to tell you, the one big thing that the DJI has going for it is I've not heard of any crashing, no overheating issues. And that's why I stuck with the Hero 8, because that's the last one that they had that I kind of considered reliable. And so I've just stuck with it. I didn't want nothing to do with these things that were crashing and overheating like crazy. So we went with this. Now, how about with the DJI? Is there any negative parts to using it? Well, if I'm going to use a lav mic that I can't just plug straight into it, I think the mic adapter gives you a little bit more versatility on the GoPro. So, you know, you'd have to give a nod there if you're using a mic adapter. Well, this neighborhood ends. You got to give a little bit of a nod there to the GoPro, but then again, you've got that Bluetooth connecting for the DJI, and so now my camera is still waterproof. If I do go out mountain biking, I can get great audio if I want to get it from there, and my camera is still remaining waterproof. That's not the case if you put an adapter on either one of these cameras. You lose their waterproofing. So, you know, there's no real draw. I'd say that's a draw. So what do we do with it? Well, here's what my thoughts are. If I were to go out and buy a camera today for cycling, especially for motorcycling, I went and bought the DJI. I mean, that's just a give-in. That's just a give-in. But if I'm just bicycling and doing some other adventure type things, hiking and stuff like that, if I were to buy a camera today, I would purchase the DJI, to be straight up with you. If I had a GoPro, as long as it wasn't one of the ones that are crashing and losing me a bunch of footage that I can't replace, I'd stick with a GoPro. I intend to stick with, I got 2 GoPro Hero 8s, and I intend to stick with them. Now, if somebody wanted to come over here and offer me, you know, enough money for them and the accessories that I got, that I'd go and buy a 5, I'd probably get a 5 so I can compare the differences, but I'm not out actively trying to do that at all. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the DJI versus the GoPro, and that's coming straight to you from just a normal person who wants to just shoot my video and upload it onto YouTube and share it with folks. None of the fancy stuff here. We're just keeping it simple. So, you want to see some more of the simple things we do? Well, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like. Doesn't cost anything and kind of helps us to try and get these videos out there. But that's going to wrap it up for this one right here. So, till the next one, hey, Southern Cycling and beyond, telling you, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels rolling. Once again, we're out.